The last place we stayed was called the Cactus Flower Cabin. I reserved it well in advance of our trip so we would have nice accommodations for our anniversary. If I had known that camping could be so problematic, I would have made reservations here for the entire trip. This little cabin was absolutely perfect and suited our needs exactly.
Geology Tour Road is an 18-mile motor tour that leads through one of Joshua Tree National Park's most fascinating landscapes. There are 16 stops along a dirt road, and it takes approximately 2 hours to make the round trip. In good weather, most passenger vehicles may access the first few miles of the Geology Tour Road. Watch for the sign marking the point beyond which a four-wheel drive vehicle is recommended. Turn around there if your vehicle is not capable of handling deep ruts and soft sand. The road is not suitable for campers, trailers, or motor homes. Joshua Tree National Park is comprised of very old mountains that have undergone periods of uplift and erosion. Most of the geologic history of these mountains has been lost over long stretches of weathering. The two rock bodies that remain, 1.7-billion-year-old Pinto Gneiss and 85-million-year-old White Tank Monzogranite, form the backbone of what you see today. The twin peaks of Malapai Hill rise about 400 feet above the valley floor. The black basalt that composes the hill is harder and more resistant to weathering than Monzogranite. As the basalt intruded the Monzogranite, it may or may not have reached the surface. If it did reach the surface, any cinder cone of lava flow it may have produced has long since eroded and disappeared. Squaw Tank is the ninth stop along the tour. Surrounded by huge boulders and rock piles, look for Squaw Tank, a man-made dam. Cattlemen used this dam to catch runoff water from the rocks to water their cattle in the early 1900s. You can find other similar dams in the park, where natural tanks or pools formed after the rains.
Happy 60th, Brenda. 29 Palms, California, April 29th. I was wondering where these balloons went. Naturalist Peggy Larson calls the desert
a mosaic of miniature worlds. The desert can be a hostile place, but these miniature worlds provide habitats for many diverse life forms. Hidden Valley is one such world. The rocks ringing the valley block the wind and collect moisture, creating a special microclimate that supports many plant and animal species. This secluded valley has also appealed to humans, both past and present, as a source of food, protection, and for its special beauty. Enter and experience for yourself the miniature world of Hidden Valley. Between the desert and the summit was a region where stolen cattle could be concealed, grazing in rock-bound valleys. A narrow gap in the rocks funneled into a legendary valley, where rustlers hid their illicit herds. The 1-mile Hidden Valley Trail skirts the 55-acre valley, ending in a box canyon, ideal for a concealed corral.
Did you see any cattle?
Unfortunately, no. That's a good shade, though.
Found mostly in the mountains of the Mojave and western Great Basin deserts, the single-leaf pinyon is unique among the pines of the world. It has just one needle in a bundle. Short-trunked pinyons grow slowly and use water sparingly. Pinyons are part of a group of trees, including the hardy scrub oaks and junipers, that began adapting to more seasonally dry conditions around 30 to 60 million years ago.
See if you can push that rock off the trail. Push, 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 push.
Not happening.
All right. You dented it though.
The large granite rocks around Hidden Valley act as giant water collectors. Rainfall runs off through cracks in the rock and collects around the base. The soil itself is composed of weathered granite, and the texture and depth of the soil controls how much water is stored. Plants growing nearer to the rocks will have greater access to moisture and protection from the drying winds.
One of the last places we visited at the end of our adventure was Pioneer Town. It's just a short drive up State Route 62 from Joshua Tree. We had a really nice anniversary dinner at Pappy and Harriet's before heading home the next day.
Pioneer Town was founded in 1946 by a group of Hollywood investors with dreams of creating a living movie set. An 1870s frontier town with facades for filming and interiors open to the public. On the outside were stables, saloons, and jails, and on the inside were ice cream parlors, bowling alleys, and motels. Roy Rogers, Gene Autry, Russell Hayden, and the Sons of the Pioneers, for whom the town was named, were some of the original investors and personalities who helped build and invent Pioneer Town. More than 50 films and several television shows were filmed in Pioneer Town throughout the 1940s and 1950s.
An old cantina was built to feed production crews and to serve as the saloon in many Western films. It became an outlaw biker bar when the film crews left, and now it's a well-known local restaurant. Although, it did keep the biker bar vibe. It's the place we chose to have our anniversary dinner.
Cactus flower is pretty popular. Highway Queen if you like spicy. I've got a strawberry margarita that's not on there, a mango margarita.
How about a Moscow Mule?
top sirloin.
What do you want to cook?
Well done. Medium well.
And which kind would you like?
Steak fries and a salad.
Alrighty. Yep.